Former Principal Secretary, Government of Maharashtra. Mr. Goel, hi, good to have you. There have been many policies that have been launched by central and state governments. How have you seen many of these perform? And would you say that they start with a fanfare, but the implementation or the groundwork is something that's still a question mark?
There are schemes which have been announced by Government of India as well as various state governments. There have been some path-breaking initiatives which have been taken, the most important being the national agriculture market. But these schemes are still to mature. There are a lot of issues involved. For example, for national agriculture market, creation of a cadre of assessors. There has to be logistic arrangements from one market to another, and making it little more widespread, taking it to the farmers as well as to the transporters, logistic operators and traders. The second scheme which has been quite path-breaking is Prime Minister's Fasal Bima Yojana, where the premium has been brought down to 2% for Kharif and 1.5% for Rabi. The acceptance of the scheme has gone up. The coverage also has gone up. The premium which have been collected by the farmers is low, but what has been going to the insurance companies is at the actuarial rate, and it has gone up considerably. Probably we are now the highest country in terms of the total insurance premium collected anywhere in the world. But there are challenges which involve in terms of the assessment of the damages, which will require the use of technologies like remote sensing, the satellite pictures, maybe we will require drones technology and so forth, but that is still to come.
Absolutely. Mr. Goel, that is well understood because the industry demands a lot of stuff. But what is your sense on the budget expectations for the agri sector now? Because this is one big thing that clearly is on the priority.
Budget every year has it increases the expectations of the farmers in a big way, and this will not be any exception, particularly after the impact of demonetization, where you will see from the newspaper reports that the farmers and all across the value chain, the operators are having certain issues. Now I would like to see that in the next budget there is one announcement which is related to the establishment of value chains. That is, all the corporate players, SMEs, startups are asked by the government to come and establish value chains which connect a certain number of farmers in a given crop to the market all across the value chain. And in that value chain, wherever the government can chip in by way of their number of schemes which they already have, it may not require any additional allocation by the government, but it will require a new way of looking at as to how the government intervenes in the agriculture sector.
Fair point. Well, you're really right, because, as you said, we don't need new schemes. It is the implementation of the schemes that is most important. But as you were putting across that point of corporate investments in agri, that, of course, is quite low. There are very few success stories to read around.
Yeah, this public-private partnership policy was announced in 2012 by Government of India, but it was not pursued vigorously. What I know of is it was taken up by Maharashtra. Now Andhra has picked up. It is now being picked up by Karnataka as well. But other than these 2-3 states, it has not taken a right shape. In fact, wherever it is started with a lot of fanfare and then slowly died down. The reason being is that, again, in terms of finances, the production systems and marketing systems, these three systems will have to come together to make it a success, whether it is by an agri startup,
Sure.
or is it by an SME,
Yeah.
or by a corporate player.
You are very right. There was absolutely, we need more participation, as you said, by corporates, by SMEs, by banks, and that really would be most welcome by the agriculture sector. Mr. Goel, thank you so much for joining us.